Hey, what's up? Welcome to the monthly challenge. I don't know. 6, 7, 8, 10 or something. Whatever. So, yeah, I apologize for taking so long to record this video. Um, I've been away from 3D for a little while, or just busy. So, anyways, I'm doing it now. And whoever the winner is gonna get a 3D printed, test 3D print hand grenade. So, hopefully I can get that shipped. There might be some countries I won't be able to ship to. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets through customs. It doesn't look like a real grenade, so this should be fine. Alright, so I'm going to do this feedback video on all of the entries, and I have to say, you guys did fucking amazing jobs, and I really like them a lot. So, I'm going to look at, let me just make sure. So, yeah, I don't know if someone else made this. I don't think I made this. Whoever made this, thanks. You're awesome. So, I'm going to try to open this here. By Antares Valdemar. Sorry if I say your name wrong. And I'm just going to go over all the entries, give some feedback, and announce the winner. Is there not a link to the... Okay. There's cool sketches. So, go check out his page. Follow him. So... Okay, yeah, I was seeing this one in the chat. This is cool. Let me take some screens. Okay, cool. I can show my Photoshop. I'm using my second monitor, so I didn't see the thing. So, let's create. Cool. So, I'm just going to drag and drop these down. We'll go over them all. I guess I have to save them out. I'm going to pause the video. I guess I can't. Cool. I can't pause the video for some reason, so I'm just going to save these out real quick and open them. And then I'll give some quick feedback, so feel free to skip to me doing that. Sorry I can't pause the recording. I'm going as fast as I can, I swear. But I guess I'll say just from the start, I do like the scale of some of the details. I like the four lights, how they sort of create a shape on the book shape. What was it? Form, shape, and structure. I don't remember the name of the book, but it's the architectural book I recommend in my tutorials, in my design tutorials. Form, space, and order, I think. And yeah, anyways, in this book they talk about how, for example, spirals or spires on cathedrals and stuff in a lot of architecture, what people try to do is they try to basically use like points in space to create a simple shape or a border. And I feel like when you echo your details in such a way, you sort of create like this visual connection between them. And I'll show what I mean on this model, and then I'll show an example or two just for you guys. But I talked about it probably in my tutorial, so I'll just go quick on it. Yeah, so I like this view. I think overall your modeling is still pretty blocky. I think there's some stuff you need to clean up, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So like this is a pretty cool thing, how these small shapes sort of make a square. And I'll show a few examples. I don't know if this is the right thing to Google, so forgive me. I wish I had the example from the book. It was really good. I don't think it was Indian. Yeah, it's fine. I won't show the example from the book, but I'll show them just a few quick examples. So like, do I even have any renders of this thing anymore? Yeah. Yeah. So like here, I really wanted, I mean, it's hard to see from this angle exactly, but I really wanted these 4 details to match and create a shape that subconsciously contradicted, or sorry, not contradicted, but countered this angle. And using counter angles is a really good way to get the eye stuck on a certain place. So I think counter angles are a nice thing to use, and also just trying to visually connect shapes and to just make more simple visual patterns. So anyways, I like that about this. It's nice. They all have the same thing. But then it's asymmetrical here. So like if this was symmetrical both ways, I would no longer like this design, I think. Because everything would be symmetrical. So I like that even though there's symmetry, like even these pieces are asymmetrical. And I think that's what makes it work. So cool. One thing that I would like to say is that I feel like you need to focus a little bit better on having nice spacing around objects. Like for example here, it's let's try and get this a little bigger. 6. It's just too tight on the border. I would either make it go across the edge, like here, something like that, or I would just not do it at all. So close, and I would have a little bit of, I'd push it so there's a little bit of a border on each side. So I think it's important that you really focus on having the borders of stuff being very clear. I'm currently on a walking treadmill right now while I work, so it's a little bit hard to mouse draw. But I can actually model on this thing. Anyway, so I would try maybe doing something on the side, or just give it a better border. Maybe figure out that spacing a little bit better. Overall, I feel like your stuff is cool. Like the proportions are decent. Like here, for example, you've got kind of big shapes and then some like smaller, medium ones on the bottom. And it looks like you kind of divided this nicely. But I do feel like this maybe could be a little bit less even, but it's not super important. I think the biggest thing is that you're modeling. I don't know how you're modeling it. Let me check the thread. I think it's poly-modeled. But I think the biggest problem for me, if I'm just going to start off, is this grip. This is like, I think, very bad. No offense. Because I think these need to be smooth, first of all. But second, they're very inconsistent. And consistency is super important. And I feel like it kind of lets the gun down. Now, it is a cool design, so, you know, don't feel bad about it. Doesn't matter. Everything can always be better. So, what I would like to see, I'll just draw, I guess, a line work. So what I would like to have seen is a little bit more curves. Just a little bit. So like you want to think about the profile. So maybe it's like bigger here, tighter here, and like ultra big here. Like you can kind of break up your bevels into this type of breakup if you want. You know, figure out different proportions for each part. Like maybe it's super small somewhere and big somewhere else. But I think just having a bit more of an organic flow to this grip, or an organic shape, would have really helped a lot. And then I think maybe just some more details down here. Just something to make it look connected. Nothing crazy though, because I also do like the simplicity. You could even think, and I think one thing that would actually help you a lot is just like try breaking your mesh up into pieces too, and then assigning a normal map texture to that material. so you can get sort of a textural piece to the grip. And make sure that there's bevels on them so it looks like maybe it's separated. Actually, you don't always have to have bevels. It looks better sometimes without, but just some curve. But not too curved. I also really hate super curved grips. I like still some structure to them, at least me personally. Like having a nice bevel here would have been nice. Anyway, there's like a million things you can do, but the point is I would like to see a bit more consistency. Try and break up the shape so it's not so soft or so hard everywhere and so evenly shaped, I guess. Maybe more ergonomic. But you can still try to do it with cool shapes. Let me look at another angle. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you had time to finish. I think you have a pretty good understanding of like planes. I think there's some places where it would have been cool for you just to simplify it, like here. Could have been cool. You could find some sort of way to connect these pieces here. Some sort of nice panel cut. I mean, this wouldn't be a black line here. But I mean, you could have done a panel cut and then maybe like some small piece here that has a normal map on it. So it looks like it's like, you know, textured. And you put your, maybe a cut here too. So it looks like you could like maybe depress this plastic piece and then slide off this housing or something. I don't know. Just a thought. It could look cool. I think too, just like I think you have some cool shape ideas. I really like this right here. It's a nice little shape, a little form change. I like that it goes to a curve. Like you have some interesting ideas and you move the forms in some cool ways, but I would like to see a bit more textural and realistic detail. And I think it'll really push this thing over the edge. So it's looking cool. And imagine if you had a little display screen here. Ooh, that would look nice. Maybe a little bit more work on the materials. But overall, it's looking cool. So very nice. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. So Dennis, making me work for the link. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so Dennis, I think that you followed the brief the closest. And I think you have a very, very strange but also insanely unique idea. And I really like it a lot. I think it's super funny. Um, I just love that it's like all this sci-fi tech. And then it is used for building a snowman. And it comes in a kit and it took into account, like I went through the posts in the design challenge and I read your reasoning behind it and I thought that was really awesome. So I think this is cool. I think it also takes the idea of making a product design, which was the goal. I thought it did a really good job of that. So also the attention to detail is really good. So overall, I really, really like this. I think it's awesome. I mean, obviously the modeling could be better on the snowman, but who cares? You know, it's a concept, I guess. I think the only thing that does bother me a lot is that the white is blown out, and it's very important not to blow out your whites. So I think if you had put a little bit more time into the shading and the lighting, and maybe a little bit more work on the presentation. Like the presentation is really good. I really like the material on this thing, but I would like to see maybe just a little bit better materials and maybe not a totally black background. Give it some sort of, I don't know, something cool to it, unique. Like here could have maybe more rim lighting. Like I think Ivan Sanic, I think that's how I'm supposed to say his name. I'm bad at names. Santic. Ivan Santic. Like I think that he does these nice dark and simple renders. I guess he has some black ones. But there's also like subtle gradients in most of them and some nice text. And I think actually it's hard to tell on my monitor. Yeah, all of them have some sort of light in the background, and I think it's really important that it's just not pure black. Just give it some little thing. And also I think the lighting is very like punchy. It has a lot of like strong highlights and rims, and there's really nothing that isn't defined on it. So I think that this is something that you could benefit from having a little bit more of in your renders. But in general, I think that you followed the brief the best, and I think that it also is a bit, you know, comedic. And yeah, so I'm just gonna give this one, like, regardless of how crazy the modeling is or whatever, you know, I decided that I wanted to give you just a separate award because I feel like even if maybe it isn't like the coolest design, it's still a cool design, and the idea follows the brief really well, and I think that that's deserving of an award. So I'm gonna be sending out to yeah, good job. It's freaking funny and awesome. So I believe also, before I talk about this one, Milan sent this. I really like it a lot. I think it's cute. I think you probably did it pretty quickly, and I think it's got some interesting shapes. I do like that you put it into a run cycle, and I like the translucent stuff on the feet. I think, you know, I'm sure you did this pretty fast, so saying that I think maybe if it just had a little bit more attention to detail or polish would be nice, but I think that, you know, for something you probably did pretty quickly, it's really cool. So I don't know if I should critique that, but if you want, you can PM me and I can give you critique or thoughts. Yeah, so let's see. How do I say your name again? Christian. Shoop. Okay. So, I really, really, really like this a lot. I like that you managed to make curve shapes have nice proportions. I like that the silhouette of it from all of the angles isn't blocky. I like the use of texture. I like the scale of different types of textures. Like here you have some like larger scale bumps next to the grip, and they are feeling like a human scale thing, and then you have this all over small scale texture. I think it's really nice. I like that it's not over detailed and feels like a product. I think the only thing, I guess I wish that the black plastic and the white were more seamless, but it's a very small thing because I just don't like that these orange pieces are kind of resting on top, I guess. The cloth, nice. Battery meter, nice. Forms, nice. Modeling, nice. Presentation, nice. Amount of presentation, nice. Lighting, nice. Use of translucency and textural detail on the plastic, nice. I think, yeah, my only feedback, or really, I guess, thing that I personally would like to have better is just that, I think the base could be a little bit less crazy. And then I think that, Yeah, just that thing I mentioned with the black plastic and the white plastic, how they meet. I think that could be a little bit better. Um, and maybe for some of the renders, I think the materials are almost too dirty. And I think that, yeah, you have some like blown out whites here, almost. The orange looks very nice. The translucent plastic looks very nice. But I do feel like this render could be a little bit better lit. To be honest, I think it looks pretty good. But, so it's a little bit difficult for me to quantify why I think that, so I apologize. I can try. I think that your whites in general just are a bit too blown out. I feel like there's something about the background choice that feels that it competes a little bit too much, and I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe it's like too bright, maybe it's too dark, maybe it's too neutral. I think that might be part of it. I would like to see, I guess, some more contrast somewhere. Yeah, I don't have any really good product renders on hand right now. Let me look. Alright, I opened some stuff with white. Okay, just a sec. I need to open this on my good monitor. Maybe that's also the problem. Okay, you know what? I apologize. It looks... I still think the background and the lighting could be better, but it looks a lot better. I'm using my secondary screen, which is much smaller and pretty cheap, so I don't think the values were showing up very well, so just ignore that. But I still do think the lighting could be better. It doesn't look blown out, though. Like here, it just looks very flat. I don't know, it's just something a bit too flat about everything. I think that some of these are a lot nicer, more punchy. I'm not saying it needs to be all punchy and you can have matte stuff, but it might be the materials. Like I think they're a bit too worn, and I think they need maybe more micro detail, like extra micro. Like one trick you can do is you can use micro normal maps to simulate roughness, especially on like metals and stuff. Yeah, because I mean technically if you have like a noise on a surface that's rough, it's pretty much what it is in real life. So you can kind of like do stuff like mixing roughness values with strong normal maps to create roughness. So maybe it would benefit from that. Yeah, I don't know. I recommend this trick though, it's pretty helpful sometimes. Anyways, yeah, so this is definitely the winner. I think this thing is great. I think it's very well executed, and the modeling is also great. So congrats. I'll be sending you this grenade. You know, hopefully it's easy to send to your country. Oh, you're from Seattle. That's right. Oh, that's right. All right. Yeah. It's gonna be expensive. Anyways, yeah, good job, guys. I really like all of these, and I'm gonna come up with an idea for the next challenge, and I'm gonna post it in the chat. So, congrats on the winners, and thanks for being patient. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out. Yeah, thanks.